Friends, in this episode I would like to discuss about the very common problem of present scenario that we all are aware that pavements of various cities, particularly of Kolkata and some other mega cities, all pavements particularly are occupied unlawfully by various slum dwellers and street hawkers. And every day we common people are suffering for these reasons because people cannot walk properly through the pavement. Instead of pavement, they have to go along the main road, and thereby frequently there are various accidents happening. And ultimately the pavement which is actually made, every regular intervals there is the unlawful occupations of the various slum dwellers and the street hawkers, and which is actually done at the instance and at the patronage of various political parties and local goons. So in this episode I would like to discuss about the position of our Honorable Supreme Court. In various judgments, our apex court has decided that the occupation of the pavement either by the slum dwellers or the street hawkers is unconstitutional and unlawful. So this is the topic of discussion today. That's why argument is that pavement occupation by the slum dwellers or hawkers is illegal and unconstitutional. That is the topic of discussion today. Friends, we are aware that our Article 21 of the Constitution, which provides the right to life, which says that every citizen has a right to life and liberty, and nobody can be deprived from enjoyment of his life and liberty except the procedure established by law. And the persons who are unlawfully occupying the pavements either by the slum dwellers or the street hawkers, frequently they incline the protection under Article 21. But if we keep into consideration that Article 21 is not without any exception, it is stated that except the procedure established by law. So what Article 21 says, that right to life, we know that right to life includes also the right to livelihood. That means the profession or means right to livelihood is inserted within the ambit of right to life, but it does not mean that the fundamental rights of the entire community will be subservient to the interest of a particular sect of traders. So in this case, I want to discuss about one prominent judgment of Supreme Court in Olga Teris. In Olga Teris versus Bombay Municipal Corporation in the year 1986, it was decided by our apex court. In this case, what happened that the Bombay Municipal Corporation Act various provisions were challenged on the ground that such act authorized the municipal corporation to evict the unlawful slum dwellers from the pavement and their unlawful construction on the pavement either by the slum dwellers or by the street hawkers. Actually, it caused too much problem for the common passers. That means the pedestrians cannot use the pavement, and every common people were constrained to use the main road, though there was the existence of pavement, but which were unlawfully occupied by the hawkers and the slum dwellers. So Supreme Court stated that occupying the pavement either by the hawkers or by the slum people, it is unlawful. But court took also the humanistic ground, and that's why court allowed the municipal corporation to wait for till the monsoon season is over. That means after the monsoon season only the eviction will take place. And not only that, court directed the corporation to make a demarcation so that there will be the bifurcation of the hawking zone and non-hawking zone, and in the hawking zone only the traders can be permitted to carry on the business, but in non-hawking zone it will not be allowed. And if anybody can apply for license in the hawking zone, that can be allowed. That means what was the contention of the court, that though right to life includes the right to livelihood, but it does not mean that means the pavement which is made for the use of the means passengers or the means the common people, but that cannot be unlawfully occupied either by any person on the ground on the pretext of the right of livelihood or to carry on any business. So that's why in Olgateli's case it was stated by the Supreme Court that unlawful occupation of the pavement will not be allowed. Later on, some other judgment I would like to discuss in this regard which also support this contention. Now I would like to discuss another prominent judgment, that is Sodan Singh versus New Delhi Municipal Committees. What happened in this case? Delhi Municipal Committee did not allow the pavement dwellers to carry on the business occupying the pavement unlawfully, but they contended that the carry on business, it is coming under the purview of Article 21 of the Constitution, that is right to life. And we already came to know about the Olgateli's case where Supreme Court observed that right to life includes the right to livelihood. But in this case, in Sodan Singh's case, Supreme Court differed from the decisions taken by Olgateli's, and Supreme Court observed that right to life does not include right to carry on any trade or occupation. That means right to life is distinguished from right to trade. That's why Supreme Court stated that what means in this case pavement and street hawkers, they challenged the actions taken by the Delhi Municipal Authority evicting the unlawful occupation of the pavement by the hawkers on the ground that it is violative of Constitution Article 21, but it was contended in this case means court observed that it is not unlawful. The act of the municipal corporation is fully supporting the Constitution, because if the pavement is occupied unlawfully by the street hawkers, that is actually violations of the fundamental rights of the entire community. So that's why in Sodan Singh versus New Delhi Municipal Committee, it was further established by our Honorable Supreme Court that under no circumstances pavement can be unlawfully occupied by the traders, that means the hawkers. In Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation versus Nawab Khan Gulab Khan, in another case, Supreme Court decided that huts, if it is made unlawfully on any pavement, it also can be evicted. That means hut which is unlawfully built up on the pavement, it can be demolished. But Supreme Court observed in this case that before demolition of such hut or removal of such hut, the proper procedure is to be followed. That means the person whose hut it is being demolished, he must be provided an opportunity of hearing. That means notice will be served to that person, and also a reasonable opportunity of hearing should be given before taking any steps. So that means Supreme Court stated that for unlawful construction on any pavement, the steps can be taken by the municipal authority, but prior to that a reasonable procedure must be followed. That means a notice and of hearing must be provided, and a hearing should be given to the person whose hut is to be demolished. So in this case, that is Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation versus Nawab Khan Gulab Khan, it was further established by our apex court that pavement cannot be occupied unlawfully by the either means any person, whether it is hawkers or any other people. So what is decided in this regard, that means the pavement which is actually made for the people, that means for our common use, which that interest is since long we are suffering, that means it is unlawfully occupied by various our hawkers for carrying on their trade or business. Though right to life includes the right to livelihood, but under no circumstances it cannot be allowed to such an extent that at the instance of the political party and the local goon, so few traders will carry on the business on the pavement and people will be constrained to come down to the main road, and which may cause various inconvenience as well as the accidents also takes place. So, now the situation has come that if we have the respect of our means judiciary of Supreme Court judgments, so pavements must be cleared for the use of the common people, and ultimately then only the welfare state will be established. And we know that our commitment for our environment, pavements when it is used for any trading purpose, it also damnify our environment. So, keeping the view of the sustainable development, so that means development is required, but not at the cost of the environment. So, for cleanliness is next to godliness. So, if we want to keep our city clean, so pavements must also be clean, and for our safety it must be used for the purpose for what it is made. That means it must be utilized only by the common people for means their journey.